Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is about getting into Brawl with 8 girls. Let's watch the video.
This is part one on how I got jumped by 8 girls. Yes, eight of them. So it starts off while me working at one job. At the time, I was a CNA, GNA, and I met this girl. And how I initially encountered her was, we're going to call her Girl J. We're going to call her Girl J. So how I encountered Girl J is she was running to the time clock and she bumped the hell out of me, okay? And when she bumped me, she damn near took my arm off. So at the time was with my girl, one of my coworkers. We got really close and I was with her and she was like, yeah, that girl's crazy. And I was like, yeah, she is. At the time I was working on the 3 to 11 shift and I was trying to get onto the 7 to 3. When I got onto the 7 to 3 shift, I ended up getting on the rehab floor. If you know anything about being in the nursing field or anything like that, rehab floor is very easy because everybody's basically on their way out, right? And when I got on the rehab floor, that girl J, was on that floor at the same time as me. So at that time, she was like, I just really want to be your friend, which was so weird because I never had anybody ask me to be my friend, right? And I was like, why do you want to be my friend? She was like, you just seem so cool. And then she tells me I'm Muslim. So I'm like, oh, okay. So she's like, I'm Muslim. And I'm like, okay, boom. So me and Girl J, we became real cool. But remember my other coworker, she ended up being on the first floor and I ended up going another floor and we were separated from each other. But she was still like, you shouldn't trust that girl because who asks somebody to be their friend? They just be naturally being their friend. So then I end up being pregnant. I end up getting pregnant, right? And I ended up not going back to that job. So I ended up staying in touch with her. And she was like, she worked for this agency and, you could work whenever you want. Me having a 9-month-old child, a 9-month-old baby, I'm like, that's would be perfect for me because then I could just work 2-3 days and then still be home with my child at the end of the day. So when I got to the agency, she was like, oh, it's this girl L, it's a girl E, it's a girl J, another girl J too. So I was like, oh, okay. She was like, yeah, and only one of them is not Muslim, which was girl E. So when I met with girl L, she was like, girl J told me she got a bad attitude, but she cool for the most part, but she was plugging real negative things about her into my ear. So girl J ended up like just plugging and talking real dirty about her. And if me, I'm the type of person where I'm like, if you don't like her, why you talking about her? Why you hanging with her? Like, if you don't like her, just don't hang around her at all. Like, that's the type of person that I am. So with this agency, if you know anything about being a CNA, then you know that it requires sometimes you having to ask people for help, right? And with the agency, we went from different buildings. So like you might be with somebody that you know, you might with people you don't know, because the agency is fairly wide. Depending on the area that you live in is where the type of building or places that you can go, depending if you have a car, if you don't have a car, it all depends on that. Me, I had a car. So it all basically started well when I was at the job with this girl L and girl E, and I had an assignment. With this particular assignment, it was easy sailing. Girl E comes to me and says, oh, can you switch assignments with me? Because I just want to, get a switch. I've been here since 7 to 3 and you're here on the 3 to 11. So can you just switch with me so I don't have to deal with the same people? In the CNA world, that normally doesn't happen. If you had an assignment all day, you want to usually keep those people because it makes your day easier because you already done took care of them all day. That was a red flag. But me not thinking nothing of it, I always think the best in people. It was really a red flag because So then when I did end up switching with her, a lot of people was coming up to me like, oh, you got a bad assignment now. Like, this assignment is very hard. So I go to girl E and I tell girl E, why did you switch assignments and give me a hard assignment? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's really crazy. And at the time, I'm talking to girl E. But at the time, girl L took offense to what I was saying to girl E. And although it had nothing to do with girl L, like, she inserted herself into the business. So I was like, yeah, that was real crazy. And I walked off. And I was like, it's cool. I'm going to do the assignment. But next time, I'm not switching now. So I proceeded to do my work. They came into the room, girl L and girl E. Mind you, girl J has nothing. She's not around at this time. But girl J introduced me to these girls. This is why I know girl L and girl E. I would never have known these girls if girl J never introduced me to these girls. So they come into my room and they say, oh, what's your problem? And I say, well, y'all switch an assignment with me that was very hard. Like, not they, but you switched an assignment with me that was very hard. And that was quite irritating. And she said, well, I apologize. I really just wanted to change. And it was just too much. I worked 7 to 3 with her. And I was just hoping that you could take it on. I said, well, you should have said that. You should have said that the assignment was hard. So then I could prepare myself and see if I would decide to take the assignment on or not. That's not how you do things. She apologized. I kept moving. I kept working. I had no idea that girl L still had an issue with me, especially since it had nothing to do with her. She inserted herself into a problem that had nothing to do with her. So I tell girl J, who I'm assuming is my friend, that was irritating. And on my way home, I'm telling her, like, that's quite irritating. It was irritating. She's like, yeah, they do get on my nerves, and talking about them as well. Red flag. Didn't click in my head at all, right? So we go to another building, which of course, when you're agency, you go where you're needed. I go to another building, and at this building, girl J, I don't know if girl J is there. I don't remember. But I do know girl L is there, and I'm on the first floor. She is on the second floor. We don't see each other. I go and I go get something for one of my patients. I go upstairs. And on my way upstairs, I see girl L. When I see girl L, I say salam alaikum, because girl L is also Muslim. And I said hi, or I said salam alaikum, and we pass each other. And she bumps the heck out of me, right? So when she bumps me, my immediate reaction is to now punch her in her face. Yes. So I punch her in her face. Okay. And my immediate thing is, we're going to fight now. Why? Let's not wait. Let's fight right here. She said, let's go outside. I'm like, no, you act so tough. You just bumped me. What's up? Right? She is like, no, let's go outside. I'm like, I'm not going outside. What's up right here? What's up? Like, I'm squaring up, basically. They can't get to the door open fast enough. So I'm like, I'm about to go back to work. What's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Girl L calls the police on me. So when girl L calls the police on me, I had no idea that girl L created a lot of enemies at this particular building. And everybody's plugging to my ear like, don't worry about it. You just stay, you do your work, good, you punched her in her face. Like, everybody's like, yeah, good, she's a bully, she's this. Like, they're really like doing that. So I tell my initial girlfriend, girl J, and I say, I just punched her in her face. And they're like, oh, everybody's like acting real scared. I'm like, she ain't do nothing. I thought we was gonna get the fighting in the hallway. She didn't do nothing. So I'm running out of time, and I might have to do a part 2. But so when the police came, I end up staying at work, and they let her go. Right? When they let her go, I'm working and I'm doing my work, and everybody's basically having a conversation with me. Stay tuned for part 2. I'm gonna tell y'all part two, and it ends at part two. Okay.
Really, we fighting at work, bumping into people, and doing all the extra. Well, when I find part two, I will upload. This is Life with Sean Renee, and I'm out. Bye.